What's up, guys? It is Friday morning, and we are out on vacation at a cabin with our friends, but we did all just watch The Mandalorian Episode 6, and we didn't want to leave you without any Mandalorian content, so we're still going to discuss it. Might do a review later, but this is still going to be our full breakdown. So I'm with Molly, as usual, and you might recognize this guy. This is Zach, and
Hey, guys.
he's always with us when we're at Star Wars Celebration, so you might recognize him.
He
But,
likes Star Wars.
Yeah, he also enjoys the Star Wars.
All of them.
So we're going to just break down this episode. And it was called The Prisoner. It's the one with Bill Burr in it.
The one with Bill Burr. That's what everyone's going to call
yeah.
it.
I think so.
It's like all those actors, like every time somebody new showed up, it was like, that guy. But then you'd have to Google like what the guy's name was, like every single character.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, that's Tonks from Harry Potter.
Exactly. So this
Actually, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I'm going to go ahead and do
you
it.
always do.
People are going to call this one the one with Filoni in it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people in this one.
Yeah.
So the Mandalorian goes to like this out-of-the-way space station to where he has an old friend who I guess he used to do jobs with. And this kind of reminded me of what we talked about last week with Joseph, where he kind of helped that one bounty hunter, the young up-and-comer. This one still felt to me like he's visiting old friends, seeing if he still fits in this world, and he just doesn't.
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe I got from this episode.
Yeah, you get some feelings of, some of the references that the Twi'lek makes, and the guy that's giving them the job to former like really ruthless times that he or like she says something like, oh, you should ask him about this one job, and like he enjoyed it, so it's implying that he was maybe more cut out to hang with that crowd before he became a dad.
Yeah.
He has a colorful past.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think that's a nice way of putting it. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, I bet that's kind of maybe what his armor is representing. It used to be all scraped up and messed up, and now he's got a clean slate. He said, my armor's lost its integrity and I need to start fresh. So that could have been like this whole, I'm just trying to wipe away the sins of the past, which I also think come up in this episode. But yeah, that's actually a pretty cool way of looking at it. And so their job is to go onto a New Republic prison ship and rescue one of their buds. And I have a pretty simple setup for an episode.
Yeah, but there's a cool crew of people.
Yeah.
So we get to see the Twi'lek that we saw in
The trailer.
a lot of the trailers.
The winker.
The winker.
Now I'm gonna call her the hisser. She wouldn't stop hissing.
I thought she was cool.
I gotta say, I wasn't a fan. Like, I didn't really like most of the crew. You're not supposed to. But I also didn't really like, I didn't dislike them in the fun way, where you're like,
You're such a bad guy.
yeah, that's kind of just the vibe I got, is everything they did is like, look how hard we are. Like, I'm balancing knives and I'm hissing at you, and I'm just big and scary and red, and I'm throwing stuff around. Like, yeah, we get it. I did like Bill Burr. Mayfeld, I think his name was.
Mayfeld.
I thought that he was a surprisingly good fit into Star Wars, and I liked his little shoulder guns.
It's an interesting thing with the casting that Jon Favreau has been doing, though, is like, Bill Burr's not really, he's a comedian and he does, specials and stuff like that, but so he's comfortable in front of a camera, but it's like, why would he be the first pick? It's, it'd be fun to pull back the curtain and see, like, did he just really love Star Wars? Is it like a Brian Posehn
No, he
thing
does not.
No, okay.
Like,
so,
he's talked about it before.
So it's an interesting thing, like who is cast, because some of the people, like the guy that's giving them the job, are just talented character actors that do that fit kind of, but he did seem like kind of an odd choice.
Yeah, and well, I don't know the girl's name that plays Tonks and played the Twi'lek. Like, I could feel her casting where, like, Tonks is also kind of a quirky character, and this was a quirky Twi'lek. But yeah, there's a lot of that in this show. I think is just Favreau like calling in favors and getting his friends to come on and play with his action figures, as he has said. I don't know. The crew itself, I just wasn't feeling from the start. But as we went through and they get what they deserve, I was much more into this episode. This was kind of like the first episode for me, I think, where I started out and I was like, I don't know if I'm into this, but as it went on, by the end, I was like, this was a really good episode.
It's long too. It's the longest episode.
Yeah, it was.
And like I was actually kind of afraid that it might like end with them docking at the ship, and the ship was going to be in the next episode, because it did feel like, you know, we've gotten used to the pace of the episodes, and it kind of felt like, okay, you're really taking a long time to like get to what this episode is going to be about. And it was nice that it was that, you know, it felt good. It's a cool perk of you know, Disney Plus being, you know, end to end owning all the content. You can just do whatever you want. This episode needed to be 45 minutes, so it can be.
And I thought it built tension really well, just getting to what their goal was, which was like rescuing the Twi'lek's brother, who is a prisoner on this New Republic ship, which is a new ship that we've never seen.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about just the idea of this is the best look we've had at the New Republic at all in any content, which is kind of ridiculous.
Oh, but before we get to the ship, so Bill Burr finds Baby Yoda.
Well, that's to your point about tension.
Yeah.
Very terrible ship guests. Like just
Yeah.
pressing buttons, you know,
Very
messing with
nosy.
stuff.
They think he's a pet.
Yeah. And Mando's like, yep.
And
like
then-
he's trying to downplay the importance.
But Bill Burr's also, his first instinct is, this is a pet, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
Like there is a lot of, once you know what happens in the episode, there is a lot of foreshadowing to, this is gonna be ours in an hour, you know, that sort of thing. So there's a little bit of rain.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of there is like, you know, foreshadowing to, they kind of planned this situation, and the reason that they're not telling, you know, the Mando who they're rescuing, that sort of thing, because
I
it's
didn't
obvious
catch that.
it's obvious that he's not, you know, he probably wouldn't have been super down with it.
Yeah, of course.
So
Yeah, I hadn't caught that, but that was the ultimate tension building device. Just like they found Baby Yoda, they're messing with Baby Yoda, they dropped Baby Yoda,
no.
like everyone screamed, and it wasn't exactly anyone's fault. It was the droid's fault, I guess. But
that's super cool.
But
like,
Bill Burr was like, oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
drop it, and everyone on the
cool.
couch is like, oh, like these people better be dead by the end of the episode.
Well, they also joke about, like, oh, did you guys make that? Assuming, like,
Oh, yeah.
the Mandalorian and this Twi'lek have some kind of backstory.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Yoda and Yaddle and Baby Yoda. Those are the 3 times we've seen that species. It could be a human Twi'lek crossover. You know. Can't rule anything
no one
out.
knows, yeah, no one knows where the species comes from.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
the
that
dumbest
was
thing I've ever said about Star Wars.
yeah. I'm not letting you back on this ever again. Like that was the point where you just know. I mean, you already knew these people weren't like good people, but once you start messing with Baby Yoda, you're like, you're done to me.
Yeah, and then
Right. No more.
the last episode, the mechanic chick, she like picks him up and is like, I'm gonna watch you and take care of you, like the Mando should be. But you know right away that Bill Burr is just a crappy guy.
Uh-huh.
Well, and it's funny that, you know, I'm sure they're well aware. You know, Jon Favreau is a super talented director, of the response that Baby Yoda is going to elicit. But it was funny, like, none of us are trying to talk during the episode. We're all trying to, you know, enjoy and watch. And there was like a threshold, like, that we all kind of hit. It was like, okay, it's been like 12 minutes. Where's Baby Yoda?
Yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
And
getting
like, where are
restless.
you gonna, like, where is he? Is he okay? Like, who's taking care of him right now? Are you gonna take Baby Yoda with these people? You know, that's like, there's like kind of like, he's always in the back of your head, like, where is he? What's he doing?
It's
He's
like
just
when
in his little
Kramer.
room.
It's like when Kramer comes in Seinfeld and everyone cheers. But that's another point where early on the guy that hires him for the job is like, yeah, we need the Razor Crest, and the Mando was so resistant to using his ship, and that's
Right.
why. And at least he's finally trying to keep Baby Yoda out of the line of fire. But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
So they said that the Razor Crest can
They tried to explain it in like this
can-
weird diagram.
well, it can get past Imperial and New Republic codes, which is like blah blah blah. Okay, And then, yeah, they go into how they're going to come out of hyperspace and do this, like, flippy move. And ta-da! Like,
yeah, we did it. Yeah, it was interesting. Like, it was kind of like they mentioned a little bit of, like, whether or not, like, it was a stealth type ship or it was just so unique that it wasn't in the databases of the New Republic or the Empire, so like they wouldn't recognize it, kind of thing. Like it was like Razor Crest's ship.
We need it. We need it.
yeah.
We need Baby Yoda to be there too.
Yeah.
So
they get onto this prison ship, which looks very Tantive 4-ish on the inside.
Very clean.
Yeah, I liked the floating droids, which is like the Jawas had one of those at the Sandcrawler, but it was still on wheels or something, and it's like all that we did was make this one hover. But then there were also those like New Republic battle droids,
which were very cool.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. I don't know. It's just like weird that this is the first time we're getting a really good look at the New Republic. One little nitpick I had is that they didn't have the right New Republic emblem, and I guess it's
canceled.
Just, yeah.
Do you think that emblem maybe changes?
Well, I guess that
over
they
time?
probably have. They probably just have different ones for different scenarios. But like the one we see in Star Wars Resistance with like the yellow starburst around the bird, the Firebird or whatever they call it, that Starbird, that is what they are supposed to be using across the board. And then
But
the one they
that
use
is further past this, right?
They started using it in Aftermath.
Oh.
And this one they're using today is from Legends, which is fine.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Favreau did say that he was
Yeah.
going to toss some Legends stuff in there.
I was wondering if Lando was the manufacturer of the droids,
The battle droids.
if they
Interesting.
pull back into a nod to Legends, as long as they don't bring back the Yuzon Vong, like that's fine.
Everyone's against
But-
the Yuzon Vong. I liked the Yuzon Vong. I'm
That's
just gonna say it.
The worst ones.
So they get on the ship.
Yeah. So they're on the ship and they fight through the droids, and the Mando gets his super cool moment where he gets to show off.
Yeah, apparently, like, none of them can handle this group of droids, and then Mando comes in from behind and just destroys all of them.
And then the big Deveronian guy like bumps him as he walks by, like, I could have done it if I wanted to.
Oh, yeah, the Deveronian he's just like a big brute, and like I didn't like him that much until we find out that he's fireproof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's cool.
That's so that they fight through the ship. They get to the front, right? That's before they get to the prisoner, yeah. And
Get to the control room.
Yeah, they get to the control room, and that's you pointed out that was Matt Lanter playing the.
Yep.
Now that's some casting I can get behind.
Yeah, and that's a
Like,
cool thing.
yeah.
That's a cool nod to a character that's been in Star Wars before, and it doesn't feel like a random throw in.
So he did the voice of Anakin
Anakin.
in the Clone Wars.
Yeah. So basically, there's just this big standoff where everyone's doing the pointy guns at each other thing.
It was exactly the scene from The Office.
Yeah.
To me, where they're like,
Yeah.
and then
There's
they put
been
their
a
guns
murder
down,
in Savannah.
and then they put them back up.
That was it went on a little bit long, and but it's to show the Mandalorian is more noble than these people.
Yeah, he's like, everybody just put your guns down. We don't want to kill this
Yeah.
guy, but the Twi'lek is like, I'm gonna kill this guy.
Yeah, and that sets off
with
a
it,
tracker.
with exactly the effect that
They were all trying to
they were all
avoid.
trying to avoid.
It sets off this New Republic tracker, which is going to bring a task force in like 20 minutes. So now we've got this timer. They find their prisoner. They run over, and it's the Twi'lek's brother. And then they apparently all just hate the Mando.
Yeah.
Which,
Well, there's some there's some maybe the beginning of his changing arc is they refer to something like him leaving them on a job or something. So maybe
maybe there's more to
maybe
that.
when he was rolling with them, that he hit like his tipping point.
Yeah.
And went on this arc. Maybe went back to the what do they call the group of the Mandalorians?
The covert.
Yeah, the covert. Maybe that he went back and started hanging out with them again or something. But there's obviously like one defining action in their past that that they're not pleased about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they shove him into the cell, and they're going to leave him. But of course, he gets back out by ripping a droid apart in
And
true
using
like
its
I
arm.
hate droid fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it goes all like Darth Vader at the end of Rogue One.
Yeah, he gets into the control room and like starts shutting doors.
He's like,
and he
I'm gonna
turns
make
the-
it look real moody.
Yeah, he turns the
Little scary
lights
in
down
here.
low and everything goes red, and then it's just like a hunt for the Mandalorian, and the Twi'lek even like comes around the corner, and she's like, Mando. I thought that was really cool.
And
That-
then you also get the information that the brother that they're rescuing is also like, yeah, let's just leave.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody, we're all real terrible.
Yeah, just no one is likable on that crew. Like my sister,
Yeah.
she just rescued me. I just
Yeah.
want to get out. First he fights the Deveronian, which was a really cool fight. Like he gets into the control room and he like tries to noose him.
Yeah.
But then he just yanks him through the ceiling. That was cool.
He wastes all of like whistling birds, all gone
They
now.
have to be gone by
They're
this
all
point.
gone.
The armor was like, use them sparingly. They're very valuable.
Yeah.
So yeah, he might be out of those now.
The
But-
Deveronian's fireproof. That was your favorite
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, that was a fun new discovery. It makes sense.
Or he could just be super tough. one of our friends was pointing out that in one of the Star Wars role playing games, I think Age of Empires, they have fire resistance. But normally, when fire resistance wouldn't just be like totally fine with it
And
like,
smiling through it.
I live in the fire now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way he finally gets him, it's like another door kill.
Right.
Drops one on him, but then he's so tough he picks it back up, and then he closes the other one on it. That got a big reaction
cheer.
from all of us.
And we
yeah.
all thought that he was dead.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed that he was alive. Again, Mando's more noble now and all
Yeah.
that.
Sure.
But
I'm. He was trying to squish him.
for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how he survived.
Yeah.
Like that's
Door.
the thing.
He's fire resistance, door resistance.
Door resistance, yeah. That's in the RPG too. Doors can't kill this man.
I forget at what point does Baby Yoda droid
I figured we'd just
standoff
cover. I figured we'd cover all
start
that
happening.
at the end.
That
'cause
was adorable.
It's hard to discuss scenes cutting back and forth.
Yeah.
So yeah, then he fights Tonks the Twi'lek.
Tonks the Twi'lek,
And then
yes.
yeah, it was unclear what happened in their fight. We were like, did he just stab
I
her?
didn't, but like the last shot, like you can see the knife like pointing at her, but then like you don't see her again. So I was kind of thinking that maybe he's throwing him in cells, waiting on the New Republic.
Yes.
But,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's very unclear. And then the Bill Burr stalking
That
like,
was
strobe
really cool.
effect was really really
I
neat.
love the mouse droid going by. Like that's such
Yeah.
the black cat trope where you're like scared and then like meow comes out, but instead it's like burr, burr, beep, beep.
Yeah, and Bill Burr like he's looking around. He's got his 3 guns going, and also like just reload the guns. Though like he has way too many guns.
Like
but
That
8
little
guns.
shoulder
Yeah.
gun though is kind of
but
cute.
the shoulder gun is cute. But he realizes that he's behind him. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
crap.
Fine, I'll get the bleeper out. That's probably a good point. Well, then the Mando catches up to the brother, and the brother like throws his weapon down, and he's like, "Take me in." He knows he can't take him, and he's like, "You a man of nobility, or you a man of honor, or are you gonna shoot me?" And then they kind of leave that hanging.
All of those terrible people
Yeah.
use the bounty hunter code whenever someone's pointing a gun at them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just a job. Like, we've got our own code of honor. Only when it's convenient.
Right. Then now we'll talk about the droid on the ship
Yeah.
and Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda, of course, the little scamp, gets out of his closet and is like, "Hey, new friend."
He's doing his own sneaking around behind people.
He's like playing hide and seek with it, but it also just like purposely distracting it, I think. I don't know.
It is weird though that the Z the robot that's flying the ship kind of like figures out the deal with Baby Yoda, and then
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
then,
you're right.
Like he sees he like decrypts the hologram with Carl Weathers, and then it's weird that his like he kind of seems like he might be going to like shoot it.
Oh, I think he was.
Yeah. So, but like he had that information like this is very valuable, and then his plan was to like go shoot it for some reason.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
should we
yeah,
set
we
up
should.
somewhere else?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
We're
getting
gonna
wet.
take a quick break.
All right, we had to move out of the rain.
Part 2 is
Yeah.
much drier now.
Yeah. Okay. So the droid is trying to hunt Baby Yoda.
Right.
Finally, after so much searching and Baby Yoda being all cute, like hiding around.
A lot of skipping back and forth.
Yeah.
Like it is really slow progress on Baby Yoda, and like that's really all we care about in the whole show is Baby Yoda. So like they keep going back off of him and like creating like a lot of suspense for him getting hunted through the ship.
Back to like building that tension. Not only are we building tension of them trying to track down the Mando and the Mando slowly taking each of them out, we keep going back and forth to the droid and Baby Yoda being adorable and like peeking out around
Just
the corners.
new meme screenshots, like so many.
I figured that was just so they didn't have to like do a CG shot of him running
Scampering.
around. Yeah, they're like, and then we'll cut, and then we'll be back, and he'll be somewhere new and fun.
Yeah, they did have a CG shot of him when he was when he fell.
Yeah.
It was a CG shot because you can't hurt the real puppet.
No, but you can't hurt the CG shot, please. So
What puppet?
He's
real.
He's a real person.
He can't hurt that real living being. He gets back into his closet finally, where he started. Why leave in the first place? But he gets back in there, and then like the droid picks up his blaster, and he does the little thing, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's gonna use the Force. He's gonna crush the droid or something."
Yeah, that was like everyone was holding their breath.
We're ready for him to use the Force again. But then the droid explodes, and Baby Yoda does like the old.
Yeah.
Did I do that?
By the way, that droid was Richard Ayoade from the IT Crowd. I knew I recognized that voice the whole time, and in the credits, I was like, "Oh, it's Moss."
Yeah.
That's another bit of fun casting, I think.
So Mando just like shoots the droid from behind, and
Which is the only member of the crew that he
Kills.
because it's a droid.
It's a droid. He doesn't like them.
Yeah.
But again, shooting real close to Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
In the
real-
gunslinger episode, like he shot the gunslinger. Yeah, you had to, but he's
hol-
holding the baby.
Yeah.
And it's loud for his big old ears.
But
He's a new dad.
I know.
These are things like he has no
we
time
have
for
friends.
parenting books.
We have friends who are new children or have newish children, and I don't think they've discharged firearms around or at them.
We're not with them all the time.
We don't know.
They're
They
not-
knew that they were going to become parents and had time to plan out so they wouldn't be in shooting situations around
That's
the
true.
baby.
That's true. They all got to quit the bounty hunting life before their
Mando's
kids
just
came
trying
along.
to get them a little nest egg so they can go hang out somewhere. He keeps trying to be like, this is a cool planet, and they find him again.
Yeah.
He's trying his best, Alex.
So he gets everyone in the cell, although that reveal doesn't come up yet. But he heads back to the space station with the Twi'lek brother. He is a man of honor. Drops them all off, gets his payment, and leaves. And of course, the guy I was like, this other guy isn't so bad with the beard and the hair.
Yeah, he's like, no questions asked, right? Because he's like,
Yeah.
where's the rest of the crew?
Yeah, but then he's immediately like, kill him. Like, to your point, I think, there's probably something that went down in their past.
Yeah.
And they all kind of played along and were like, yeah, we'll pretend to be cool with him and then we'll kill him.
Well, he says in the beginning, like, your ship's the only reason to let you in.
Right.
You know, that sort of thing. So
There is something to be learned there. And since we know that they're all still alive, maybe we will learn it. I'm not thrilled about the idea of, like, another adventure with the weird Twi'lek. And
it does seem like a small,
Yeah.
like, it's inconsequential, you
Yeah.
know, to a larger story.
I don't think we'll see them again.
I wouldn't be surprised if they came back in season 2. Like, if once a season we learned
maybe.
a little bit more about his history.
Maybe
Yeah.
the next season.
I don't think we're going to see him in this season.
They're going back to the New Republic.
Yeah,
now.
they're in jail.
Yeah.
So.
So the Mando drops him off and also leaves the New Republic tracker, which I thought was a very nice touch. Like,
Yeah.
this episode really, really built and built and built to a point where I was like, yeah, I'm really into this. And which I'm glad, because it started off and I was like, I don't know.
And the New Republic comes.
And
And who do we
it's
see?
3
Yeah.
X-Wings, and it's freaking Dave Filoni. I was trying to think of a Red Filoni or something.
He was born to play a pilot. I
Man,
don't
yeah.
know if he enjoyed that or not, but it was perfect.
That again, like this one was just full of cameos, but that's another
Yeah.
one that I enjoyed.
Oh,
And
one that I want to jump back to. We did see an Ardenian in one of the
yeah.
cells, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's funny because Jon Favreau voiced the Ardenian
Right.
in Solo, so that was a cool callback.
I did figure that was kind of a connection.
Yeah.
There were cool little, like, there was that character. There was something that looked like something from the Goonies.
Yeah.
And then there was like an imperial,
Imperial.
still wearing his uniform. So there were some cool little glimpses into like types of people that the
That
New Republic
also
would be arresting.
reminds me that when they were getting that cell open, they use a spike, which the first time we ever saw a spike was in Star Wars Rebels. Sabine uses one. I was like, oh, it's the same thing. But Dave Filoni shows up with, I think, Rick Famuyiwa, who directed the episode, and Deborah Chow, who directed the 3rd episode of the series and will direct next week's. So those were all fun.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know why I get so excited to see X-Wings, but I'm like, I haven't seen them in a while.
I was expecting them to be the new X-Wings.
Yeah,
the
you would think they'd be T-70s at this point. But
I think there is a little bit of world building going on here with this is a prison ship crewed by droids. Like the New Republic is expanding, and instead of being the rebellion, they're the New Republic now, and they have to change everything, become the government and caretakers so that they would be short-staffed and still be using older ships and that sort of thing. Like I think is a little bit of world building into the state of the galaxy.
They're definitely understaffed. The book Last Shot talked about how Mon Mothma demilitarized very heavily. So those might have been the only 3 X-Wings they had. So the X-Wings do their attack run. They take out the station. I think they're probably going to arrest all those people, too. Like, they blew up the gunship that was going to launch, and then it looked like they were just circling. It's not like they were just going to destroy the station.
Had we seen that gunship before that he was about to launch?
Looked kind of like the bounty hunter ship from last week.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. May have been a rogue class from Clone Wars. I'd have to look at it again. We just watched it the one time, and we came out here to shoot.
It felt familiar, but...
But then as they fly away, Mando gets the little toy for Baby Yoda again, and
he
says like,
"Says I told you that was a bad idea."
like, as if they had that conversation.
I'm sure they did. They're talking.
I think he talks like he probably just has conversations with Baby Yoda, but really they're just with himself.
Yeah.
So he's debating like, should we do this? Probably not. It's a bad idea, but I'm gonna do it. So yeah, that was the episode. Again, I liked it quite a bit. It started off a little weak, I thought, but by the end, I was like fully on board.
Yeah.
Something new and exciting, like every minute, like either like a character or a cool new ship or robot or something. Like it's just a lot of, I've seen some people say a lot of things about fan service, and I definitely think there is a lot of that. But it's like it feels fun. Like okay, maybe it's fan servicey, but I like it. So
yeah, a lot of it was new too, but and people have been clamoring for more alien species to be part of live action things, and we got that for sure in this episode.
Yeah, and thematically, I really liked it. It was a lot of to tie in like with the armor, and the Twi'lek even mentions the armor about how it's new and shiny, where this is kind of him revisiting his past life and the sins of the past causing trouble for him, almost taking his son away, shoving him in the prison block and stuff. Like he can't escape that stuff. I think last week was more about, does he fit in with the bounty hunting world? Not so much. Does he fit in with the underworld? Nope. Like he's got to find a new place, and it's probably with the Mandalorians. Hopefully I want to see them again.
But he got paid.
Yeah, he finally
for the
did
first time
get some money. He's like, yeah, I'll finally like keep this. He didn't have to give all the money to the mechanic last episode, probably.
Yeah. Definitely the most suspenseful episode for me. First time I got jump scared watching the show when that prisoner jumped against the door. But it was a good long episode.
Yeah. Were there ever any other like callbacks or references, Easter eggs that you noticed?
I think the Twi'lek character mentioned Alzok 3. I think that's where he like enjoyed whatever carnage he did. That was in Legends, the homeworld of the Talls. It no longer is, but because they changed that in the Clone Wars.
I liked that Bill Burr said that the Razor Crest looked like a slot machine from Canto Bight.
Yeah.
They referenced the Gungans and like did the like it's obviously like a galaxy-wide joke that they talk funny.
That's to bring up Last Shot again. That is one of my favorite moments, maybe in a new Star Wars book recently, is when Han sees a Gungan and goes up to talk to him. He's like, I got this. And he's like, how you doing? And the Gungan's like, I'm going to stop you right there, buddy. Like, he talks completely normal. I loved that moment. So they're all just being that's a little iffy, guys.
Yes.
They don't all talk like that.
I mean, they're bad guys. We know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all just terrible.
But yeah, they're all joking about what's under that helmet. You know.
Yeah, that was we just kind of breezed over that, but yeah, there was another. Have you seen him without his helmet? Let's take his helmet off, and like that's another kind of a lesser form of the whole let's mess with Baby Yoda. Let's mess with his helmet.
And they like, doesn't the Twi'lek make a joke like, oh,
A lady never tells.
a lady never tells,
Yeah.
yeah. Which I was like, nah.
Were they romantic and he kept the helmet on?
Ooh. All right.
That it is like it's like everyone in the galaxy knows one thing about Mandalorians: they don't take their helmet off, and everyone really wants to do it.
And they make fun of the code. This
Yeah.
is the
Oh,
way.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
I kind of liked
people
that.
know about this is the way.
There were so many things where they were just like, remember how terrible these people are. And there was the guy with the long hair and the beard at one point was like, what's that look? Like the Mando kind of just looked at him and
Yeah.
he was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what's that expression? Is that gratitude? That was kind of funny. So you want to do our top 3 moments?
Sure.
What was yours?
We're starting from 3.
Yeah, we'll start with number 3 and work up.
The Deveronian being fireproof.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Bill Burr messing with Baby Yoda. Like, just because it did exactly what that scene was supposed to do and make me really tense up. Like, I felt a little nauseous. Like, don't you touch that baby.
Yep.
It's I think the last scene, the familiarity in the cockpit, like he's like already unscrewing the knob that he likes to play with, and just like they are already falling into this routine, and like it's like a kind of a glimpse into their like home life, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2, Mando taking out all those droids.
Yeah, that
Just
was cool.
like a badass.
My number 2 is gonna be probably Baby Yoda's little like, did I do that thing?
Two. I think that seeing X-wings, like seeing the X-wings come in is a really cool, like, you know, this is so separated from traditional Star Wars. Seeing like the glimpse of the New Republic, it was like a time period we don't know a lot about. Like I like seeing the X-wings come in.
Yeah. Molly's number 1 Baby Yoda moment of the week is going to be him peeking around the corner.
That's your number 1 favorite moment.
Yeah. That and like the hand thing,
Yeah.
but mostly just him going, what?
Anytime he's peeking around anything, it's a
Can't
top
wait for-
moment.
Can't wait for the memes. Send me all of them.
My top moment was the door. We can share top moments.
Okay,
It's fine.
that's my-
Let's
that was-
discuss it right now. It's your
I
top
thought
moment too.
yours would be the ships.
The X-wings.
Yeah.
The door thing was what got the biggest like oh reaction, because
That's true.
none of us were expecting that. We were like, oh, he caught the door. Oh, there's another.
It was
door.
just it was like a really well shot and edited sequence, because like we'd already had a door gag in the first episode, and then like he like comes back up and you're like, oh, he's so strong, and then like presses another button,
Yeah.
and it's like, haha, gotcha. Because
Yeah.
his whole thing was basically like, look how strong I am the whole time, and he like finally got his comeuppance.
Yeah.
You know?
So that was it. That was the episode, The Prisoner. Thank you guys for hanging out with us out in North Georgia for a while.
Out in the rainy mountains.
Yeah.
And it's cold.
We're going to
So-
go back inside and get warm and relax with our friends. I think I'll probably do a scripted review of this episode next week when we're back home, but we still wanted to get something out for you today. So that was it. Thanks.
And there's no episode next week, right?
Wednesday. The next episode is Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then there's like a movie coming out or something.
Something, a
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
I don't know. But
So yeah, thank you guys for watching along. And as what do we say at the end of these?
I talk about Facebook or something.
Like we're in vacation mode. Like the video, subscribe to the
Oh,
channel.
yeah. Smash that like button.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yeah.
We'll have
All those things.
audio commentaries for this episode out soon. We have commentaries for episodes 1 through 5 out on our Patreon. You can check that out at the link in the description.
We'll have the audio version of this on the podcast in a couple of days.
Yep. And as always, may the Force be with you.
Worst outro ever.
We did it.